Hello and welcome to Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I am Elvis, your host, and I'm here to let you know that this is a not safe for work podcast. We are teachers at the end of our weeks and really the end of our ropes, and we'd like to be able to talk honestly and openly about our jobs without, having to worry about losing them. So I'd like to start by thanking all of our Patreon patrons who are out there, and these patrons are the reason we keep going. They're the reason we keep doing, and we'd love to have more of you join our Patreon. It's only $5 a month, and you get access to all kinds of extra bonus content, live episodes, there's access to swag, there's all kinds of great stuff. So here we go. I'd like to thank Exhausted Band Director, Kim K, Noel R, Alan H, Kim K, Jessica A, SWFLEV owners, Amanda F, Ariana L, Jessica H, Physics Runner, Melissa V, Steph, Science Teach 17, Michael M, Kim C, William P, Sarah O, Aldrich T, The Scorpionita, Britt M, Tisha C, Carissa H, Biker Teach, Caitlin L, Marsha M, Wiaza, Christina B, Miss Alabama, Kristen B, Hoovian, Ashley M, Jason F, Amber H, Jeff S, Abby B, Ann T, Sarah B, Regina F, Anna L, Josie S, Sam B, Lucy P, Mary E, Jamie B. Oh, I gotta get to the top of the list again. Hope H, Aaron D, Kristen W, Vanessa H, Vanessa J, Mary C, Rylan L, Catherine S, RJR, Kristen C, Johanna H, Tony and Christina K, Irma A, Nimi, Melissa M, and Sarah N. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. I'd also like to say a big thank you to our sponsor, Lud Lamb Dramatics. If you are a theater teacher or you know a theater teacher in your building or admin is forcing you to do UIL one-act play or something like that, go to Lud Lamb Dramatics. They have all kinds of resources to help explain all kinds of great concepts to your kids. They have posters that are wonderful for your wall, and they also have great little affordable things you can use to bribe your students, like buttons that say off book and proud and I survived UIL one-act play. All right, my friends, I'd also like to thank our sponsors at Legendary Pretzels. Go to Legendary Pretzels. Check them out. They take these pretzel rods and they offer them gluten-free too. They dip them in chocolate and they wrap them in candies, and they have special designs. They are amazing. They're cost efficient. They're great gifts for you to give to your loved ones or just to get amazing snacks for yourselves. Okay, I'm done with all that stuff. My friends, Teacher Needs a Drink podcast comes out every Wednesday, and if you have something you'd like to share with us, a question, or you just want to share, hit us up through the contact page of our website, teacherneedsdrinkpodcast.com. All right, I think I've covered just about everything. We are 3 days away from winter break. I am so ready. In fact, the fact that it's winter break is the reason why I'm doing well this week, because if it wasn't winter break and things like this, I'd be losing my damn mind. We've had a lot of kids calling in fake gun threats, and I'm going to shoot up the school on Monday, thanks to our school. My son's school, it's a high school with several thousand kids, was down to where only single digits were in each class, because so many people were scared to send their kids to school. Luckily, that kid got arrested, and they just announced he has felony charges on him just for making terroristic threats. So, geez. Hopefully, this trend will die down. Anyway, friends, stay strong. I love you. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for listening, and help spread the word. Leave a review if you get a chance. All right, friends, enjoy episode 114. Short. So, hey, folks, welcome to Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I'm Elvis, your host, and joining me today, I have Bunny O'Hare.
Hey, Elvis. Hey, folks.
And also with us, Mr. Count Chocolate.
You have a chocolate counter. Yes.
I'm glad you're here. Oh, man. It's Monday before winter break. We've got 4 days ahead of us. By the time this comes out, there'll only be like 2 or 3 left. And it's a weird tie between me not having to work hard, but feeling really stressed just with the way the kids are acting. Everything's going crazy around here. Mm-hmm. The local schools in my area have had to cancel or had to shut down because of school threats and threats made against the school, either on social media or letters written in, where it's crazy. But it's also happens to coincide with testing days for our STAR test as well as finals. And I think it's kids being stupid, dumbass kids, but it's also causing other kids to have extreme anxiety about what could possibly happen in their school, as well as parents and everyone else. And so that's just delightful that this new gem is popping up. But I appreciate the schools that are taking it seriously and shutting things down. And it makes me want to know details of what was found or why they shut schools down for 2 days or an hour into the school day decide to shut schools down. But it's nutty. But how are things on your end? Bunny, what's going on with you?
Well, my Monday started with getting about a third of the way to work this morning and realizing that I had left all of Fufu's bottles for the day in the fridge. So I had to turn around and go home, frantically texting my teammate and my AP, like, I might be late for first period. Somebody please watch my class. And of course, my first period class is energy intensive, we'll say. They are energy intensive.
That's very polite. I like that.
But they have gone to a no phones ever for any reason policy at my school, which
really
it used to be like that if the teachers gave permission, you could use it for a classroom related activity, like if you're playing Kahoot or if your class doesn't have a set of laptops or whatever and the kids need to look stuff up. And they had such a problem with kids doing and saying and sending inappropriate things during school hours that they finally just had to say, okay, no phones at all, because this is getting to be that much of a problem. So
that's impressive to me, because I feel like that's a pendulum that's swinging very fast both ways. Because I know about 6 years ago it was no phones whatsoever. Then it was, okay, you can have a phone, but it needs to be like covered up. And now I feel like at my kids' school, they can have their phone out and pretty much do most of the time. So
no, it had gotten to be a big enough issue, and now we're under the direction of take up a phone as soon as you see it. Like, do not pass go, do not collect $200.
Well, that's serious.
I took up a girl's phone today, and by 4:30 this afternoon, had a message from her mom saying, she said that you told them they were allowed to use their phones, and then you changed your mind. I was like, bitch, no, I did not. I didn't say that to the mom, but I was like, no, I think she's mistaken. I never said that. And she was the only one with her phone out. So
are the parents freaking out over this? So, like, out of not being able to instantly contact their child at any given moment, or?
I really haven't heard any backlash from the parents on it. We had kids saying, oh, my mom's going to sue the school, blah, blah, blah. My mom needs to be able to reach me.
Good luck.
Our principal, like in the email that he sent out to the parents, informing them of this shift in policy, was like, people of our generation all survived without cell phones. Your child will too. They can use it after school hours if you need to reach them, like athletics or something that goes after school. And if you need to get a message to them, call the front office and we will be happy to deliver a message.
I think that's smart.
Yeah. I can tell you, I have one particular student that I can think of that has gotten more work done in the past week than she has in a whole semester.
I grounded my son maybe a month. It was 2 months ago. It was a while ago. And he lost his phone privileges for a week. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever heard that kid talk more in my life than within 24 hours of not having access to that phone. He had all kinds of things he wanted to share and talk with me about now. I was excited.
Yeah. Well, and like walking down the hall in the morning, because the rule is that they're not supposed to have it out in the mornings. Like as soon as you walk in the building in the morning, the phone should be out of sight. So like even sitting, waiting to go to class in the morning, the phones have to be put away. Yeah. And the kids are actually like talking to each other and interacting. And some of them are reading actual books while they wait. It's amazing.
Whoa.
So yeah.
Actual book?
Yeah. So anyway, that's what's going on. Sorry, opened a big old can of worms there asking about my Monday. Whew.
No, I think that's good. What about you, Count? How's your last week going?
So it's actually going really well. At the high school level, we're wrapping up things. So we've already got one final that, already took place. We've got finals for the rest of this week. And so kids have kind of been in like salvage mode. For the ones who are like, grades that are borderline and turning in every possible assignment. But, this is the first time in like a year and a half, almost 2 years, that our kids have had finals or midterms, because when COVID hit, like we just did away with those. And so that's kind of new for some of the kids. And we also just gave out our junior class rankings. And it was only based on their first 4 semesters, so like freshman and sophomore year. And when I tell you that I've never seen kids so like intent on comparing themselves to one another, and we really only gave it out for our top 10%, But not only that, I've gotten so many emails from parents like, how did you calculate this? Did you make a mistake? I don't see why my child is this low. And we just and I'm responding back like, yeah, we put it in the system. This is where it was generated. This is where they are. And then I was like, stay tuned. After first semester, we'll calculate it again before March. But I mean, even as juniors, I mean, parents are, I don't know, a lot of them are playing the numbers game. But we called down our top 10% and gave them a paper and said, between you and your parents or whatever else. And some of them were excited. Some of them cried. They were thrilled. And then some were like mad that they were only 25, thought they should be like number 1 or 2. And I was like, no, sorry, you're not. But the parents like just accuse you of like, did you make a mistake on purpose? And I was like, you think I have time to sit here and calculate every GPA? Like it's in a system somewhere. Like, no. Gosh, but yeah, I'm starting to see the claws and the fangs of some of the parents. And I knew they had them, and they've been retracted for like 2-3 months now. And now they're coming out. Yeah, they're coming out.
They always do eventually. Here we go. This article today is from The Guardian, and the title is South Dakota Teachers Scramble for Dollar Bills in a Demeaning Game. Now, this part isn't from the article. It's from me. I saw this video on Reddit and also posted in a couple of teacher groups over the weekend. I've seen the video, and maybe at first glance you could be offended, but I think a lot of people are getting offended about something that they had nothing to do with, or being offended on, like, for other people. But I'll go ahead and read the article now. So, a competition pitting 10 teachers against each other to scramble for dollar bills to fund school supplies in a city in South Dakota has been described as demeaning and draws comparisons with the Netflix series Squid Games. The local newspaper, the Argus Leader, reported that $5,000 in single bills were laid out in an ice skating rink during the Sioux Falls Stampede hockey game on Saturday night, and teachers from nearby schools competed to grab as many as possible in less than 5 minutes. Footage of the competition that went viral on social media showed teachers stuffing the notes down their jumpers and into hats while the audience cheered. The money was reportedly donated by Mortgage Direct to fund teaching supplies and classroom repairs. With everything that has gone on for the last couple of years with teachers and everything, we thought it was an awesome group thing to do for the teachers, said a marketing spokesman for Mortgage Direct. The American Federation of Teachers president, however, tweeted that the display was demeaning. This is demeaning. Teachers shouldn't have to dash for dollars for classroom supplies. No doubt people intended it to be fun, but from the outside, it feels terrible. On social media, dash for cash footage was described as humiliating and dystopian. Here's my thing. You see it, and maybe you can be upset, but this isn't teachers scrambling for their paycheck. This isn't teachers saying this is the only way to get funding. And these teachers got free tickets to a hockey game. They got to come and see it. They got to participate, get on the ice, and represent their schools. They all got shirts, and they were given $5,000. I mean, I'm sure it would have been fun to, put them in a cash cube instead and let them grab it out of the air. But I don't think this is the worst thing ever. But I'm really curious about maybe I'm just too numb and I think people just have their panties in a bunch over nothing. But Bunny, what are your thoughts on this?
Man, I can see it from both sides. But I know in some state lotteries, they'll put you, like you said, kind of put you in a tube and blow a whole bunch of money around, and whatever you grab, you get to keep. I haven't watched the video yet, but I feel like you're going to see teachers crawling and scrambling on ice, getting as many dollar bills as possible to fund projects and things like that. I can see that just from an optics point of view, just looking like, oh my gosh, are they that desperate? Or why can't they pay them more money so they don't have to do things like that? But I don't know, the 20-year-old in me or the 22-year-old in me would have been like, hell yeah, put me out on that ice and let me grab as much as I can. Or if I'm a first-year teacher, like, let's just do it. I think it would be fun. And I can see why people would say embarrassing or demeaning, but I'm not wound that type where I won't, almost kind of embarrass myself a little bit to have a little bit of fun. That's kind of how I feel every time someone calls on me to do something at a pep rally. Like, hey, we're going to have a race and you put on this crown and use this plunger and sit on this skateboard and get across the gym floor. And I'm like, how embarrassing is this? But I don't know, if the senior class will cheer for me, I guess I can do something like that and whatever. I don't think I'm going to go viral, but I don't know. I don't think it's that bad of a thing. I think it's all in the name of fun. So I could live with that.
Like if they said this is your only chance to get a holiday bonus, I would be pissed. But this was a local bank donated $5,000 to school and wanted to do a fun way of giving it out. And so they had representatives from the schools. They're on a carpet. It's like one of those halftime what do you call it? Between the quarters part. It's hockey, so it's not between quarters, between the periods.
Yeah.
Where they do some kind of event. And I mean, the teachers, they're getting the money, but they're smiling. It's fun. I mean, it's a big area. It's not like they literally have to grab money away from each other. No one's, pulling clothes or hair. It's not Hunger Games. I agree that maybe we shouldn't have to do things like this. And maybe if things were better, it would ring a little clearer. But I don't feel like this is the end of the world. But I'm also not that bitter at the moment. Some days I am pissed off, and maybe I would be a little more upset. But I'm curious about your views. Bunny, how do you feel about this? Do you think this is tacky? Do you think this is fine? Do you think this is, what's going on?
I mean, like y'all said, I can kind of see both sides of it. My first impulse was geez, take it easy, guys. Nobody was forcing them to be there. It wasn't for their paycheck. It was over and above, and like you said, in a perfect world, that wouldn't even be a thing, but the teachers were there voluntarily. And like you said, got to go see a hockey game and got a shirt and nobody, they weren't being forced to. It's not like they had to, fight each other for, to put food on their table. It was intended as a fun thing, and the teachers were there voluntarily. And you said something, and I don't know if you meant it this way, but this was the way that I kind of went, yeah, that's probably true. About it being dystopian. I think if we weren't living in the year of our Lord 2021, that this might hit a little different and people might not take it so seriously. But the fact that we feel like we've been living in a bad Hunger Games, dystopian movie for the last 2 years almost, I think everybody's just a little bit over it right now.
And I am too. Things are tough right now. It's hard to keep finding the bright side in things sometimes, but I know we can do it. And I know that we can survive this year. And I know it's tough. And a lot of people do need to, get a break. And thank God we have winter break coming. Honestly, if we didn't have winter break coming at the end of this week in the next few days, I probably would be a little more bitter or strung out or tired. I'm tired no matter what, but since I have that big golden light that says there's a little over 2 weeks off coming very, very soon, that changes my view on things. And so
it does. That is so true. I feel like I can kind of shrug my shoulders at it. Yeah, it's okay. We're going to break.
Exactly. So when some of the kids are a little rowdy or someone's being a little pissy in class or in the hallway or someone's being bitchy, I'm just you know what? It's fine. In a few days, everyone can just kind of shake and shower this off. Now, come January, I'm going to do my damnedest to have a fresh view on things still. But right now, my view is, you know what? In a couple of days, this is going to be over. Let's just do the best we can and make it to the finish line, and let's get there. It's so close, so close. So, hey, guys, guess what?
What you got there?
We have a Patreon.
A Patreon. Yeah.
That's right. We have a Patreon. If you're one of those people who loves Teacher Needs a Drink podcast and want more, or just want to support us and help us and encourage us to keep going, join our Patreon. For as little as $5 to $10 a month, you get access to all kinds of bonus episodes, lost episodes, exclusive content. We do live recordings. There's a Facebook group where you can chat and meet other people. We do watch parties. I don't think we're going to do one this month. Maybe we will do one this month. Who knows? We'll surprise everybody. But we have all kinds of stuff going on. So come join our Patreon, support the podcast, show us your love. Do it now. Woohoo! Yay! Yeah. All right. Would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years in the future? Now, this is a one-time thing. Not whenever you want to. But what would you rather have?
Do I get to pick when I'm going to use it, or is it an immediate thing?
No
Let's say you get to choose when you want to use it, but you only get to use it once.
I'm going with 10 minutes into the future, and I am activating it for the Powerball drawing.
That's hilarious. I love it.
See what the numbers are, then, revert back to now times and then buy my ticket.
There you go.
That's perfect.
Yeah, either that or gambling. Put some horse bets or something out there.
There you go.
What about you, Count?
So I was thinking 10 minutes into the future. I wasn't thinking lottery, but the crazy thing is I was picturing like myself like trying to steal like a bag of money off of a Brinks truck and just seeing if like in 10 minutes if I'm like home free, or if in 10 minutes like somebody like hit me with a taser or something, I'm laying there and I'm about to get cuffed and go to jail for like strong arm robbery or not strong arm robbery, but like some kind of some kind of robbery kind of deal. But I think I'm in the same boat as Buddy, where I'm trying to use my sight into the future to get rich. So I'm looking for a little payday here, I guess.
I guess that's the best way, because, 150 years would be cool. But honestly, I'm not going to be around in 150 years.
I'll be dead.
There's really no chance. At 100 years, there's a chance I could still be around. But
nope.
My diet at the moment's not looking at 140 for my age.
Nope.
So, yeah, I'm more interested in 10 minutes of the future and just seeing, probably just doing a little self-help a la Bunny. Or maybe like you, I could do the whole like Groundhog Day and just completely plan the perfect robbery.
Yes.
And just be like, okay, I just count to 3, 1, 2, 3, throw the rock, pick up the bag, walk across the street, and I'm clear. Just have the perfect set of circumstances. But knowing my luck, I'd be drunk. You'd be like, I know who's going to walk in the door in 10 minutes. And then
I could do that in Vegas. I could do that in, like you said, bets. I could, yeah, that would definitely, I would use that to my advantage.
Maybe I'll go gambling at least once over the break. I do it about once a year.
Yeah, once a year. No, I don't even know if I do once a year. It's probably once every 3 years for me, but.
Actually, you're a lot closer. It's about closer to about once every 3 years. I went last year between Christmas and New Year's. I went once with a friend, and I made some money. I was probably up 1,000 at one point off 400, and then went down. I think I ended up walking out $600 ahead. But then I went back with Priscilla like 2 days later because she had never been. And I was like, oh, I'll take you to the casino. And we went, after like an hour, I was like, I'm out. This sucks. I want to go home. It's a fun drive to Oklahoma, but man, that drive back sucks, especially if you didn't win anything.
I've had a couple good experiences in a casino, but I remember my best one, everybody else like went flat broke and drunk. And I mean, like, I had to pick up multiple tabs and pay for a hotel room. By the time I got home, I think I was 19 or 20. And I'm sure I was probably 19 or 20. And then I remember when I got home, I was still up about $1,000. And I know I had already paid for like 2 hotel rooms and at least 4 or 5 tabs.
Wow.
Like, it was a great night. And I was like, I'm not going to try it again. Like, I'll never do it again. I don't think I'll ever be that lucky.
It never goes according to plan ever. The very first time I ever went to a casino, I won about $1,500, $1,600 playing craps. Mm-hmm. Like, this is the best thing ever. And me and my buddy were like, we're going to go in 2 more days. We'll go back out there. It was like a 90-minute drive. Oh, yeah. No, it didn't happen the second time around. I walked in with $75, and like 15 minutes later, that 75 was gone.
Yep.
And in college, 75 was a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. That's a lot of money in college.
You can stretch that a while.
Yeah, that was like my money for a month or a couple weeks. And
that's groceries, man.
Yeah, it didn't turn into the $1,600 that I was hoping to get again. So, I don't know, my dream of going there always is like, oh, I really shouldn't spend this money, but it's always fun when I win. Hey, friends, thanks for listening to another episode of Teacher Needs a Drink. The end of the line. Holy fuck, that sounds sinister. The end of the semester is imminent. It's just a few more days. Hold on. Try to do what you can to get through. Don't get too nasty. Don't get too bitter. Just keep Friday afternoon in your headlights, and so you can make it to that glorious break. And once you get to the break, make sure you claim some time for yourself. That is so important, especially right now. Take a break. Shut off the email. Put all thoughts of school aside. And if nothing else, make the days like between the 23rd and the 31st, just nothing school related. Just Make it about family. Find loved ones. Tell them you love them. Find your friends. Tell them you love them. Just do what you can. Make the most of the people you're with. But I'd like to thank my hosts who were with me today. Bunny O'Hare, thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me back. It was a pleasure as always.
It was. And Count, I'm glad you could make it.
I appreciate it. I need everyone to eat a little bit of chocolate over these holiday breaks. You'll feel better. You'll just feel better.
If I must.
All right. Okay, friends. Well, deep breaths. Yeah, that's right. Deep breaths, deep drinks. Cheers. Woo! Yeah. Cheers. Woo! All right, my friends, thanks for joining us for another episode of Teacher Needs a Drink Podcast. Teacher Needs a Drink Podcast comes out every Tuesday and is proudly sponsored by Lud Lamb Dramatics and Legendary Pretzels. If you have a question or something you'd like to share with us here at Teacher Needs a Drink Podcast, go ahead and hit us up through the contact page of our website, teacherneedsdrinkpodcast.com. I'd like to thank my hosts who are with me today, Ms. Bunny O'Hare and Mr. Count Chocolate. And I'd like to thank all of the patrons out there for supporting us. Thank you so much. If you just can't make it to be a patron, I know teachers, man, money is hard, even if it's just $5 or $10 a month. Leave a, positive review. Recommend us to a few friends. Help spread the word. That's the best you can do. All right, my friends, it is almost winter break. We are just days away. We will release some kind of an episode over the holiday weekend, but it's not going to be much because honestly, we need a break and we need some time with our families. We will do something for our Patreons out there. We're planning on having a party, so we'll live stream from that and we'll see what else we can do. But all my friends out there, take care of yourselves. Your health matters. Your sanity matters. Make times. And if you have a loved one, make sure you let them know.